Hello everybody, and welcome to another Game News Roundup. As always, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe, and leave a comment down below on your thoughts on anything I discussed today. But it looks like PlayStation 5 Pro announcement and release might be around the corner, with the announcement possibly coming this month, first half of this month even, potentially. So yeah. Recently, reliable leaker billbil-kun, who has, for a couple years now, has been leaking the PlayStation Plus lineup every month, monthly games. But yeah, he's claimed that Sony teased the PS5 Pro in its 30th anniversary image. Which, quickly here, you can see the PlayStation logo and the 30th logo. Right between there, you might see something like, yeah, it's kind of PS5, but it's got more ribs. More ribs, more stripes, whatever you want to call it, between the two halves of the PlayStation 5 Slim. So it's not quite the PS5 Slim, but we'll get into why that we think, or fairly certain that is the PS5 Pro. It's because he recently claimed the PS5 Pro, which obviously, a mid-generation upgrade to the PS5 with slightly more powerful specs. Will be announced in the first half of September, so potentially this coming week or the week after. And stated they have access to the packaging design for the PS5 Pro, which obviously has the PS5 Pro on the side of the packaging. However, they did say they're not allowed to share copyrighted images. So instead, they drew a sketch of the console, which was seen on the packaging, which you can see here. PS5 Pro on the sketch is basically, best way to put it, it's a PS5 Slim, a little thicker, a little fatter, to make room for the more powerful specs and probably better cooling and whatnot. With more stripes or ribs in the middle. So yeah, it's designed with PS5 Pro in the sketch, if it is accurate. Is similar to the PS5 Slim with the addition of 3 black stripes across the middle of the console and a slightly larger size. It will also be colored white. Again, if the sketch is accurate, it does match what can be seen in the image for the PlayStation's 30th anniversary between the PlayStation logo and text 30th, as you can see in the vertical rectangle, with multiple stripes here, or as the leaker tweeted, right here you can see in this one image posted, yeah, it's the PS5, but with 3 stripes, or ribs, or whatever you want to call them, racing stripes, I don't know, or whatever. But yeah, also the leaker isn't sure if the PS5 Pro actually will have a disc drive version or not, as the package design they have access to is for a digital version. However, the leaker does theorize the PS5 Pro will ship without a disc drive to keep the costs down, and also the PS5 Pro will reportedly come with a standard white PS5 DualSense controller that comes with the PS5 Slim. But yeah, as you see, his sketch here is for a digital edition of the PS5 Pro. However, they're not sure, and we don't know one way or the other if there will be a specific disc version of the PS5 Pro. However, it was previously reported much earlier this year, nearly 6 months ago, the PS5 Pro will support the ability to add a disc drive that is the exact same disc drive that is found in the PS5 Slim, which actually, if you buy the digital edition of the PS5, you can buy later the disc drive that can be attached to the PS5 Slim, which will then also apparently be the exact same disc drive that will work on the PS5 Pro. So yeah, I thought I'd mention that. Let's see. Yeah, this is the previous announcement of the leak here, and then we might as well go over some of the previously stated specs for the PS5 Pro. Again, from March of this year. So yeah, reports, leaks, whatever, we'll see. We'll see. When Sony does officially announce the PS5 Pro, I will do a video on it as soon as I possibly can. So keep an eye out for that. Be sure to subscribe, and yeah, hopefully you'll be seeing that in the coming days if all of this information is looking quite accurate. As again, Sony teased the PS5 Pro in the picture for the 30th anniversary of the PlayStation, which is coming up in December. But yeah, so yeah. Potential leaked specs from earlier this year, the CPU in the PS5 Pro is reported the exact same as the standard PS5. However, it will have a high CPU frequency mode, or you could almost say an overclocking, which you can potentially do with some CPUs in PCs. That increases the CPU power by 10% to 3.85 gigahertz. However, it will also downclock the GPU by about 1.5% to probably keep the heat down and whatnot of the PS5, or the amount of wattage and power usage down a little bit. Of course, the thing is with some games are limited by different things depending on how they're coded and what is driving their games. Like, some games are limited by the specs of the CPU, and then obviously have an extra 10% of the CPU will help a game a lot more than, the GPU. So a little bit downclock of the GPU will help, and what, I think you know where I'm going with this one, but, so the system memory for the PS5 Pro will be increased by 25% over the standard PS5, from 448 gigabytes per second to 576. And the system memory is also reportedly more efficient than the standard PS5, so the potential bandwidth gain is more than 28%. And the ACV in the PS5 Pro will run at a higher clock speed over the standard PS5, which will result in the ACM library having 35% higher performance. There'll be more convolution reverbs that can be processed, as well as more FFT or IFFT. And the main difference with the PS5 Pro over the standard PS5. The biggest difference between the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, obviously you see the CPU is going to be the same, although potentially overclocking up to 10% extra. The biggest difference is the GPU, with rendering, according to leaked specs and whatnot, 45% faster than the PS5, and ray tracing potentially 2 to 3 times better, with up to 4 times in some cases. 33.5 teraflops, and a new thing called PSSR, or PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution upscaling anti-aliasing solution. Support for resolutions up to 8K is planned for future SDK versions. Custom machine learning architecture, AI accelerator, supporting 3 teraflops of 8-bit computation, 300 tops of 8-bit computation, 67 teraflops of 16-bit floating point. PS5 Pro is also said to have again, as I mentioned this before, detachable disk drive that will be identical to the PS5 Slim, as well as coming with 1 terabyte of storage. This is to make the PS5 Pro more competitive. I guess, say price-wise. We don't know the prices of what the PS5 Pro may be, but mind you, the standard PS5 Slim, the digital edition, and the disc drive version did just get a price increase in Japan, but Japan only mainly because of the weakening value of the yen compared to other parts of the world, while the price actually has remained relatively steady, at least in the US. It has gone up in other parts of the world. The standard PS5 price has stayed the same since launch at $499, $500. While the digital edition, the regular digital edition at launch was $400, but with the release of the PS5 Slim is available for now $450. Keyword is if, the standard PS5 Slim does not see a price cut, the PS5 Pro is likely going to be $600. Even, say, probably for the digital edition of the PS5 Pro is going to be $600. With the disc drive version, if that comes to fruition, that is a thing, will probably be $50. Will probably be $50 more, considering the digital edition and the standard PS5 with the disc drive is $50 difference. So it's like maybe $600 for the PS5 Pro digital edition, $650 for the PS5 Pro with a disc drive. And obviously with the ability, if you buy the digital edition, to spend the $80 for the disc drive that can be added to it later. Again, this is all just my guesses of the prices. Obviously, if the PS5 sees a, slim, standard PS5 sees a price cut, maybe we'll see a PS5 Pro for $550 for the digital edition and $600 for the version with a disc drive, potentially. Again, we will see. I will, as always, once Sony announces and unveils the PS5 Pro, I will give you all the details, specs, the price, the launch dates, which I think rumors basically showing most likely November, which would make the most sense. Sony generally launches consoles in November, and it will obviously be before Black Friday, so probably early to mid-November is when it will come out. And then we'll see if the leaker is reliable, who's always been fairly reliable, is accurate. It will be announced in the first half of September, and considering it is September 8th, that means potentially this coming week we will finally have a full unveiling of the PS5 Pro. And obviously, Sony hasn't announced a PlayStation Showcase or PlayStation State of Play or whatever to announce it. Generally speaking, Sony announces their showcases and State of Play just the day before. They're like, all right, there'll be a showcase tomorrow. Usually is how they announce it. They don't announce them weeks or months in advance. Xbox almost always announces their showcases several weeks, if not months in advance, depending on the showcase. And Nintendo also, like Sony, generally will announce their Nintendo Directs the day before, usually, or maybe a week ahead of time. But yeah, just because we haven't heard an announcement yet, as it is recording of this Sunday, September 8th. But yeah, just because Sony hasn't even announced a showcase or state of play, does not mean we won't be getting one this coming week. They'll probably just announce it the day before. And obviously, what are they going to show besides, all right, here's the PS5 Pro, here's the price, here's how much more powerful the specs are. I'm sure they'll showcase at least some games running better on it. Here, here is the game side by side on the PS5, and here it is on the PS5 Pro. You'll see the improved ray tracing, or maybe improved frame rates, or more stable frame rates in some games, higher resolution. That's probably what they're going to showcase some games off. But obviously, they don't have any major first-party games coming out this holiday season. Keyword is first-party games. Obviously, Astrobot just came out. So far, everyone's loving it. Metacritic, it's in the 90s. I think it might be the highest rated game on Metacritic this year. It does look like a blast. And if you're playing Astrobot, let me know how it is down below in the comment section. And obviously, if anyone's been watching me for a while, I pretty much do all my gaming on the PC at this point, other than Nintendo. So hopefully it'll come to PC. If it does come to PC, I'll be playing that day one for sure. And I am looking forward to, I know it's been out for nearly 2 years at this point, God of War Ragnarok coming to PC on September, I believe it's 19th, so in like about a week and a half or so. But yeah, I just wanted to cover this news here. Leaker claiming, Sony potentially teasing the PS5 Pro. But yeah, this is their sketch. Remember, this sketch came out before the tease from Sony. So PS5 with the extra ribs, extra stripes, as I know this is going to sound weird, I'm going to sound nerdy, but as a Trekkie, those extra ribs I'm not saying thicker neck, but it reminds me of the Excelsior class starship in Star Trek. Yes, I'm a nerd. I am a nerd. If you don't know, feel free to look it up. Like the original Enterprise has, between the saucer section and the saucer and the engineering section, there's that neck, which always seemed a bit of a weak spot, which did show in the Wrath of Star Trek II, the Wrath of Khan, that weakness. So, and of course, the Excelsior class, which we saw the Excelsior, and the Enterprise B, which also was an Excelsior class, a much thicker neck between the two sections, which looks like ribs, which kind of, for some reason, this is what it reminds me of. I know, a little nerdy, a little tangent, I just thought I'd find it interesting just to mention that. I'm probably the only one who's noticed that or had that thought, but here I am. I'm sure maybe it reminds people of some other things as well. But again, yeah. So yeah, this sketch came out first, and you can see here PS5 Pro with PS5 with looks like extra stripes, and somewhere else in this image. So yeah, PS5 Pro right here, but then you notice here on the right is the standard PS5 right there. See, one stripe. Multiple stripes, kind of basically showing like, yeah, there you go. Obviously, if you want to look, you see a PS1 here, PSP there, I want to say, the PS3 Fat, the original PS3 PlayStation Move controller there, other controllers all around. If you want to take a look, feel free to pause the video. I think that's the Vita there, that's the PSP Go, I believe. Interesting enough, I don't see the Oh, no, wait. We got the PS4 Pro, PlayStation 4 Pro here. I actually don't know. I'm looking for the PS2. Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below if you see the PS2 anywhere. I might be blind. Potentially, I am blind. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and we are really close. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch y'all next time for some more gaming news. Actually, oh yeah, and there's the standard PS4 right there. There we go. At least I see that. I still don't see the PS2, but it is somewhere in there. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch y'all next time for some more gaming news, gaming sales, gaming industry information, and yes, As soon as the PS4 Pro is PS5 Pro is officially announced, I will do a video on it as soon as I possibly can. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all around next time.